No,
letting.
I don't even want to use it ever. I'm never gonna get on board with
I was just
ChatGPT.
giving it for the audience.
No,
I knew
don't
I knew you were
audience.
never gonna do it.
No, don't do it. Wait, was Jay-Z gonna write
ChatGPT.
his new album on it?
Today we had on the founder of Coffee and Contracts, Haley Ingram. She talks about how she created a content membership platform with over 5,500 agents, how she navigates the constant shifts in Instagram, the ever-changing algorithm on all platforms, and then we get into ChatGPT.
The Broke Agent presents Over Ask Podcast.
Okay, what we were saying is I am wearing a hat for the people at home because I just got a facial because my wedding is in 4 weeks and I got extractions. And I was shocked to hear that Haley has never experienced a facial or extractions, and neither has Matt. And I was very disappointed. I thought that I would be able to relate with someone here.
Nope, you're alone.
No. Yeah, you're all alone. But folks,
Great.
if you're listening to the audio, head on over to see Eric's facial to YouTube. But
Looks like I got hit in the head with a rake. Basically, what they do is any sort of undergrounder or pore cleanup that they have to do,
right.
they do it.
Okay,
and
well,
they use some sort of scalpel, and then it heals in about a week. And now I'm going to look incredible in a
you
week.
need
And
to
then I
give
got a
our
light
viewers
peel
a little
also.
sneak peek here, Eric.
Nope,
Maybe.
that hat is not coming off. This is seen by thousands of people.
Okay. Well, it's not all about you and your facial today,
Right,
Eric,
of course.
unfortunately. Today we have very special guest, Haley Ingram. Haley, I think you're so successful on social media because your name is literally 2 letters away from being Haley Instagram.
Yeah, I've had people think that I have Instagram is my last name before, so it's a little embarrassing.
We have Haley Instagram with us on the podcast today.
Haley Instagram.
Do you know who my father is? That's why.
It's just Instagram.
Yeah.
Her dad's just like a big
Mr.
like
Instagram.
camera.
Instagram actually is my dad, if you think about it.
Yeah, seriously.
That's
But
true. We're just trying to make him happy.
Haley, you run one of the, I think, the number one real estate social platform. That was Eric's facts. I don't know if he actually fact checked that or not, but one of the top real estate social pages,
Content platforms.
Content platforms. What I'm trying to say, Coffee and Contracts, very catchy name as well.
Thank you.
Yes, for the people who don't know you, don't know what you do, can you kind of let us know what you do? Who is Haley Ingram, aka Haley Instagram?
Yeah, so Coffee and Contracts is it's basically a membership where agents subscribe and they get access to a content calendar with a social media post for every day of the month, primarily for Instagram, as well as just a ton of Canva templates. We have a content vault that they can like search through and find printable templates, like marketing guides, flyers, Instagram stories, reel scripts. And then we also have a Facebook group where agents can just ask questions and we'll walk them through anything that they need help with Instagram. And yeah, we're basically like the go-to place for help with growing your Instagram. And then Eric provides he provides meme and reel templates each month as well, and also now reel prompts. And him and I go live in the Facebook group like once a month now. So yeah, that's what it is now. But I started as an agent actually in St. Pete, Florida is where I'm at. And one way that I just went about growing my business is through Instagram, which led to me basically doing social media management for other real estate agents, which led to the creation of Coffee and Contracts. But I started as an agent. I wasn't very good at it, honestly. I just really liked the marketing side of stuff in Canva. I wasted a lot of time in Canva.
You and Eric sound like are you long lost siblings? What's going on
Yeah.
here? Exact same
We're
story.
bad at
what part
real
about
estate.
Yeah, well, no, that's not the case. I was not bad. No, I didn't like it either. But I want to get into that a little bit. So what about real estate did you not like? Like clearly you like the content creation, the marketing aspect, but what as a realtor were you turned off by basically?
Honestly, I think now I would like real estate more because when I started, I was like 23 or 24. So I had never bought a house. I like got into real estate because I was a marketing intern at a brokerage. It was just like a job that I got, and I was always interested in marketing. But once I was trying to I was in college, so I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do, and I was working there. I got to see like what real estate agents did, and I was like, I like houses. This looks cool. And my mom
Awesome.
got her real estate license at that time too, so everything was just I was like, wow. And she joined a team, and we lived in a small town, so she was doing great. My brokerage was like a small brokerage, so she was just like giving me leads. So I was like, this is so easy. Like I didn't understand like what you had to, like you had to actually get out there and drum up business. So I actually like moved. I was in Orlando at a brokerage, and then I moved to St. Pete. So I was like, all right, let's do it. And I signed up, and I started paying my brokerage monthly fees, and then I lost like a ton of money because I didn't make any sales. um, and they were like, "Oh yeah, you got to go door knocking and cold calling." And I was like, "I'm pretty sure I'm gonna get murdered if I go door knocking." And then I did like one. I'm just not like a personality where I can like. I mean, I probably could have eventually if I had more confidence, but I was just so young at the time that I was like, "What? Who? What? I don't even know what I'm doing." So I think yeah, a big thing was like just my age, and I just wasn't really sure what I was getting into.
Matt, she is my long lost sibling. I was also 23 or
Huh.
24. I started as a marketing intern. I
Mm.
also liked houses. I didn't like door knocking or cold calling and felt that same pressure as a 23, 24-year-old. Why would someone listen to me if I'm standing in front of their house? I'm going to look like a complete moron. So
Yeah, I
our
felt
stories are exactly
really
identical.
yeah, I felt like an idiot. Like I felt like I had such bad imposter syndrome, and I remember like anytime I went to my broker, I switched so many brokerages, and I was like, "Help me!" And then and they were always like, "Yeah, you just gotta make those calls," and then they would like point at the guy who's like a top producer and be like, "He's in his room, like he's doing calls all day," and I'm like, "I'm gonna cry if I
You're like, who
like."
is he calling?
I know. I'm like, if I have to do that one more time, I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
But Instagram actually worked for me, and it was funny because I got the leads that I did get were all from Instagram, and that was starting to work, and it was all people my age that were like I just felt more natural with because they like they reached out to me, and then so I don't even know where I was going with that. Um, but I also ended up paying for Zillow leads at one point too. So I got to see what it's like to be matched with people and not have a connection with them either, and it feeling so weird. I don't know.
You two are starting. I mean, I swear your faces are starting to morph together. I mean, it's like it's insane.
I don't know
Eric,
if
what's
Haley
your
works
dad's
that.
name, by the way?
Instagram. I already told you.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay.
So
Are you
how
Jewish?
long? Are you Jewish, Haley?
No.
No, I'm not Jewish.
Okay.
No.
Well, there we have it, folks. Breaking news. How long were you in real estate for? I guess in its entirety, and then how long until you made coffee and contracts? Did you make coffee and contracts while you're still an agent?
Yes. So it's actually kind of funny. So I was an agent. I got my license in like 2018, I think, when I graduated from college. And I think wait, no, 2018? Is it? No, probably earlier. I think I was an agent for like a year or two. Um, but I don't even like it had been, yeah, it had to have been 2 years. And then at that point, I was just like, I couldn't pay my bills. So this whole time I was like bartending at a hotel here. And then and I was just like tired. So I was like, I'm just, you know what, I'm going to get a real job. So I got a job marketing at like a doctor's office, like a vein doctor's office. And
Damn.
it was really bad. The doctors were like really mean. So I would just like not work and really and like and go to
What were
coffee
you?
shops.
Yeah.
And
What were you marketing? Like varicose vein treatments?
Yeah, it's varicose vein treatments, and
That's the worst thing to market. Do you ever drive by the billboards and see, hey, do you have varicose veins? And it's like these pulsating, zigzagging veins
Yeah.
that
Well, it
we're
was
all
so
going to get eventually.
it was yeah, I
Now
learned
I'm
a
scared.
lot. But it was funny because they had some guy that didn't even like work for the company hiring people for them. And then they called me in, and it was just like all these doctors, and they like put like, and I'm just like I don't even know what's going on. Like I'm like marketing, okay, like thinking social media marketing. they like put my resume on the screen and they were like, so tell us, like, how do you help us? What do you do? And I was like they were like, you have the marketing degree. And I was like, I literally don't even have a marketing degree. And it says it right there. Like, I didn't lie about that.
It's
But
a
like,
great
I
way to
think
sell yourself.
First line.
the doctors, I think they like think they have degrees and they learned how to be doctors, and like they think maybe that if you have a marketing degree, you're like, oh, okay, this is what we marketing people do. I don't know. I kind of went off on a tangent there, but yeah, basically I started building coffee and contracts at coffee shops during that time. And that was in 2019, like September of 2019. And it took 2 years, or not 2 years, 2 months, that I was able to quit the doctor's office job, thank God, and like stop doing real estate and just be like, okay, like this is my full-time thing now, I guess. So it happened really fast, actually. But I was yeah.
No, I guess there's just no one really doing what you do still. I mean, you essentially take all the stress out of social media for agents.
Yeah, it's been so like when it started, it started basically from I had an Etsy shop. So like around that time, I like loved Canva. Like I said, I could play into Canva forever. And around that time, they like introduced a new feature that you could share templates with people. So I was already like playing around on Etsy with like making shirts or something for real estate agents. And then I was like, oh, I could like add these, like my stuff that I make, like listing templates or whatever on Etsy as well. And then basically I ended up meeting like a personal trainer who told me about her business and how she used to be an individual personal trainer, like with clients one-on-one. And then she ended up putting it in a monthly membership. And they had a Facebook group where people would post their forms and she would go in and correct them. And it was working really well for her. She had like huge community. And I was like, it kind of clicked. And I was like, oh, I could do that like with the stuff that I make for real estate agents. So I made an Instagram and I just called it Coffee and Contracts because I was like, it's kind of a fun name. Like at the time, I feel like it's when the cheesy stuff was like, it was hot, you know? So, so I was like, that's a cute name. So I'll name it that. Then I just started, it was just like a fun little thing, just like nothing serious, just posting graphics that I made. And then people started following, primarily women in the beginning. And then so I started it. And at first it wasn't even like content calendars. I was just like, here's some stuff I made and I'll release new stuff each month. And then one month I was like, here's some captions. And they were like, we loved that. We want more of that. So I was like, oh, I'll just do like a calendar and do like a post for every day of the month. And that was like November was the first time we had a content calendar. And then from there, it grew a ton. And then I met Eric, I think like the next year, and we kind of partnered up. So
yeah, you called me in 2019 and just kind of like, hey, can we promote this? Is there a way to do advertising through it? And then I looked at the platform, was super impressed by it, and was like, this is genius. Like I'm already seeing people sharing my content, but my content is agent to agent. And people who share it, probably not a great idea sometimes if your clients are following you and they see you sharing nonstop broke agent memes. But I could create content that works for agents to share for their clients that is still humorous and still engaging. So it was that conversation where it's like, okay, should this be an advertising thing or should it be, I can help create content for this platform? And I've been creating 30 to 50 pieces of content on a monthly basis for now 3 years, which is crazy. And it's also helped.
Didn't get a.
Well, it's before I even met. It's before I even met you, Matt. Haley's an OG.
I'm an OG. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Haley.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been kind of waiting. I mean, we follow each other now. I was thinking DM or something. Video creation aspect. I don't know. I have a whole.
I'll connect you guys after the podcast.
We'll talk after this.
Yeah. Thank you very much. So Haley, was there any
go ahead.
part of you when you met Eric thinking, you know what, I should just go back to the veins and the doctor?
No, never.
That's
never
a great
wanted
question.
to go back there.
Okay.
It was that was a scary place.
Right. Well, I mean, look at right in front of you as well. It's equally, this guy's under his head is like a fucking railroad track right now.
It really is. It's like World War III was fought on my forehead. But Haley, I am curious as to how long it took to get your first member. Did you build an audience first with the Coffee and Contracts Instagram, or did you build the platform and then members started paying like immediately, because I know how hard it is to grow a brand. To get people to actually like opt into something on a monthly basis takes a lot of, trust and brand equity. So how did you go about that?
I started the Instagram first, and then like released the website on there. But I think the very first person signed up within like 2 days. I remember just like refreshing the list like every hour, I think. But back then, when I first started too, the prices were, I tried to do like packages. So like $9 a month, you just got this. And then it was $9 was the lowest one. And then it was like 15 and 19 was the highest one. And I think the first person signed up at $9 and then like canceled immediately. And then like the next 5 people signed up at $19.
Sounds like Dan O'Neill or something.
Yeah, exactly. You just got the templates and then bounced immediately.
Yeah, exactly. But the like then people started signing up at the $19, and I was like, ooh. But it's very hard to like price things, especially in the beginning when it's a membership and it's not like built up. So I ended up just saying, okay, it's just $19 a month for everything, no complicated levels. And then I think it was like 2020. I was like, all right, I think that's too low. So I raised it to 34, but I said anyone who was on the $19 a month gets to stay on like your grandfathered in. So it was 34. And then the next year I was like, ooh, I feel like there's way too much value for this to be $34 a month. Now people are just like getting in and it's not like exclusive anymore. So I raised it to 54, but anyone who was on the 34 got to stay. I feel like that's kind of maybe was like a key in our growth, is just like slowly increasing the price, so that like, because in the beginning it wasn't as good as it is now. And it just like the value grew. So I feel like that could have helped for sure.
Yeah, I remember that conversation you had with me when you were
Oh
thinking about
yeah.
upping the price, and the amount of value that is provided on this content platform is tremendous. Like I spend, just from the broke agent section, which most people are probably not going to use the majority of my templates, right? Because you're not going to be posting funny stuff on a daily basis. They're using your templates primarily, but we have some good stories and funny gifts, funny reels ideas and stuff as well. But that takes hours. That's just for my piece. Like literally 5 to 6, even more hours to come up with these ideas, try to make fresh ideas for Valentine's Day, for different holidays, for different months. Like over summer when there's not a holiday, it's really hard to come up with new ideas.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, from your perspective, as I'm trying to do this on a daily basis on the Broke Agent page for Coffee and Contracts, for BAM, how are you coming up with consistent content and new content for agents to post on a monthly basis? Like, it's got to be tough.
Yeah, I always wonder, like, I think every month I'm like, I don't know how I'm going to do it next month. Like,
Yeah.
But then every month it always seems, I feel like it gets better every month somehow. And I think too, like, I mean, a lot of this stuff is not like groundbreaking, like talking about the topics of the content calendar. It's not like we have any like groundbreaking information. A lot of it is like we have a certain set of content pillars. So you're just kind of reiterating points in different ways. And especially as like trends are changing and like the way that we word things, like now we're really focused on having like a really strong hook at least for carousel posts in the beginning. Like I just really want people to stop and like actually look at it. So I feel like we're kind of like rewording things and redoing things as like trends happen. But recently we hired some additional people. Like we have Erica Richmond joined, who she's actually an agent and like teaches other agents how to use Instagram. And now we have meetings where we just like come together and just brainstorm as a group. And those have been, I feel like, so like, it's just amazing how much more like brain power we have when we do that. So that's been a game changer for sure.
Yeah, missed that call too.
Oh, you want to be included in the Coffee and Contracts brainstorm sessions?
I mean, she's hiring agents now, and still
I
missed
hired one. I'll reach out for sure.
There is something there with the brainstorming thing. Like whenever Matt and I talk, whenever you and I talk, Haley, it's like the light bulbs start going off for different content ideas. If you're just sitting there as an agent trying to come up with content ideas, it's
Mhm.
impossible. If you're not
Yeah.
like actually out in the field doing things, or like if I'm sitting there trying to come up with a funny tweet or a funny meme, I can't do it anymore because I'm
Mhm.
not even doing enough real or any real estate.
It's
So
yeah.
talking to other people is just a
Yeah.
necessity.
It's
Mhm.
different perspective. Like
Yeah.
someone like when we talk, Eric, it's like you'll say something and then I'll come at it from a way that you wouldn't think and vice versa. And then
Right.
Mhm.
it sparks all those ideas. But I did want to ask this because, I really don't know as much as like Eric would about coffee and contracts. So say I am an agent, I'm doing good business, uh, from referral, cold call, all that stuff, but I know social, I need to get on social.
Mhm.
Um, I go to Coffee Contracts, I subscribe. What do I get once I subscribe, and how kind of hands off is it for me? Because I don't want to
Mhm.
do too much. I want to just continue my business, but I've heard this social media thing could work too. So what would I get?
Mhm. So when they sign up, we have a like a quick start guide that they can go through to kind of help them get set up. We're kind of revamping it right now because we're we're like in the process about to revamp it, because we're realizing that everybody comes in from a different like starting point. Some people come and they're like, "How do I set up Instagram?" Like they don't know how to create
Yeah.
an Instagram. Some people come and they're like me, a new agent, young, and they totally get Instagram. They have an Instagram. And then obviously there's some agents that are doing really well or super successful and they just like want someone to take it out of their hands completely. But what we do is kind of like we're like the middleman. Like you could do it completely on your own, or you could hire a social media manager to do everything for you. We're kind of like in between where we provide like ideas, scripts, templates, trainings, tools, and everything that you need to like create a strategy for yourself. So we have like a couple different ways that people go about it. A lot of people will go in and like look at our content calendars for the month. They'll add in branding photos, which we have a branding photo guide that we release each quarter because we think that we try to get people to do like quarterly branding photo shoots so that they have really good images to use in their marketing. So they'll drop those images in, change it to their branding, choose the ones that they like, and then schedule them out themselves. And then for videos, record those however they want to. But yeah, so we're kind of like the in between. We have we're partners with a lot of social media managers that will use our content and do like customize it for them if they need the extra help. But yeah, that's kind of what it is.
And you can brand and customize all these. So it's not like you just get the templates and then post them. You can do
Mhm.
that, but you're putting your branding on everything. You could change the wording. They're kind of more like guides,
Yeah.
basically.
Mhm.
And
So
there's
everything can be edited,
Yeah,
pretty much.
everything is
yeah.
completely like you could sign up just for the ideas themselves or like, you know what I
Right.
mean? But and just for the templates themselves, just to change them to your branding. And yeah, they're all completely customizable.
What have you done? I mean, I've seen you evolve with this entire thing since 2019 to 2023 as the landscape of social media keeps shifting. And GIFs, no one, you could post a GIF as a reel now, but no one's really posting GIFs to their feeds.
Mhm.
Or, when feed posts, basically just still image feed posts in 2021 through 2022 basically became persona non grata on Instagram, where no one cared about them, right? It was all Instagram reels. So what did you
Mhm.
do during that? And now it's almost shifted back, actually, which I want to get into. But what did you do when the huge TikTok and Instagram reel boom happened? Everyone stop for a second. This market is a little bit tighter than it has been in the past few years, which means leads are not necessarily banging down the door. But you know who isn't worried right now? Agents who use BoomTown, the #1 rated real estate CRM in the game.
That's right. Boomtown, it was actually founded in 2008, Eric. Do you know that?
Yeah, the same year the Phillies won the World Series against the Rays. How could I forget?
I'll take your word for it. In the middle of a housing crisis, their CEO, Greer Allen, built it
Yeah.
from the ground up with the
Legend.
explicit intention of empowering agents to be successful no matter the market. So if you're ready to build a truly bulletproof business, visit boomtown, ROI.com/overask. Plus, See here, you can score 750 big ones in free digital advertising. That's BoomTown, ry.com/overask.
Yeah, there's been a ton of shifting and changing with the trends. We have done a lot of things. Like I feel like we've tried a ton of stuff. One thing that we did is we started this a while ago. I mean, I know we've talked about how like trending audios aren't so much a thing anymore, but we started we have like a free email newsletter where we send out 3 trending audios each week, which if we're kind of shifting that to like 3 just real ideas in general based on like what's going on, holidays, etc. So that's for like members and just for anyone for free. And then in the membership, tried in the beginning, people were asking for real templates. And sometimes people ask for things that like they think will work. And I kind of know like I don't really think that's going to work, but they're asking for it. So sometimes like it's a battle to choose to do it or not, or to be like, no, you need to do this. So at first, like for 2 months, I think we did Canva templates where we like showed them like drop in a video of you in this beginning slide and then like do this, but they just like they're not as good obviously because it's just like a template. And reels need to be like original content. So now we're adding in like some people I think get upset about it, but we know what's going to work best for them. We've replaced 8 of the posts in the content calendar with real scripts. So, and they're not like templates or anything. We have cover photo templates so they could like use their branding photo and have a nice title set up for them and everything. But now we have like instructions. So like for this month, we have like search the market in your city and find an article, take a screenshot. Here's how you do green screen, and then talk about the article. And then we're kind of trying to use like ChatGPT as well to like show them how to use ChatGPT to write scripts for them. So we're giving like scripts for ChatGPT as our scripts because a lot of stuff needs to be unique to their city or like in their tone. And we're also just trying to make the content unique for everyone. Because that's one of the biggest like I think drawbacks are like the reason that people don't sign up is because they're like, I don't want to be posting what every other agent in my market or every other agent is posting. So we're just trying to like get creative to find out ways to like help them create unique content, but save a ton of time, give them ideas, and give them the confidence to know that like what they're posting is good and like is going to work. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I think that was one of the main objections was a lot of agents saying, well, if they're getting these templates or these ideas, won't everybody just be using them? And the answer is, first off, your clients aren't following 1,000 agents like every other agent is. They're not seeing the same sort of content over and over again. And then making it hyper localized, I think, is a really smart move. And now with Instagram, we've almost seen a shift back to like carousel posts and feed posts where the Instagram CEO, Adam Mosseri, literally said that Instagram feed posts and still images are getting the same engagement, comments wise, shares wise, everything as Instagram reels, and that they're going to keep, populating our feeds with those now, which was kind of, enforced by the Kylie Jenner tweet and just a lot of people saying, make Instagram again. And I welcome this obviously as a meme creator. As my, kind of bread and butter. I was happy about that, but it's just interesting to see how it just keeps going back and forth. You think like, oh my God, no one's ever going to post a feed post again. And then now my reels perform way less than my feed posts. I don't know. I mean, Matt, you're basically all reels, but you posted a slideshow the other day, obviously, of you and the agency and Mauricio. So that's a great post, but that post crushed and got more engagement than some of your reels, right?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think there still needs to be a happy like mix of both, but yeah, certainly it's definitely coming back. Like even last year I posted some of those carousel posts that didn't do nearly as well.
Yeah. Yeah. I think go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I love that carousel poster coming back because those are like some of my favorite pieces of content to make, especially like just for people that aren't really naturals of video. I feel like that's such a good thing.
And there's so many ways to be creative with it. Because like even if they only look at it once and they get off of Instagram, when they open it again, you'll pop up again on a different carousel post, like on a different picture, which is cool. And you can get creative with it.
The carousel post I'm treating as reels now, where it's like the first slide is the hook, and then you go value, 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 and then the last side is a call to action that either asks a question to comment or gives them like, hey, check out more on Broke Agent or on BAM. But
100%.
another thing I'm doing with carousels is themed carousels. So for the Super Bowl, I'll do a throwback to like 6 or 7 Super Bowl memes. Or for Valentine's Day, I'll do, 5 or 6 Valentine's Day posts. And that just gives the audience different options. It almost guarantees more engagement because they're seeing so many different posts in one that they're more likely to share one. It's just, it's way more time consuming, obviously. But if you're down on engagement, just throwing up a feed post might not be as effective as doing an entire carousel.
Yeah, we're really
amazing idea.
Ooh.
What is it?
I'm not telling you now.
Tell us. What do you mean now?
Tell you off air. I'll tell you off air.
What you don't want the audience to hear it?
Yeah, because I'm gonna be the first. It's gonna be groundbreaking. It's gonna be groundbreaking.
Can you give us a hint?
It's something to do with carousel.
Oh my god!
An actual
is it
carousel.
Like a video with carousel or something?
Like an actual circus carousel?
Yeah, like a real deal one.
Okay.
No, you'll see. You'll see.
All right, everyone, stay tuned, folks. This is going to be crazy.
This is going to be groundbreaking.
Yeah.
Haley's going to wish she hired me at Coffee and Contracts.
So, Haley, I got another question about running Coffee and Contracts. I know working with agents is a nightmare. I know dealing with agent problems is a nightmare. Customer service, merchandise, anything like this. You are dealing with people at all different levels of the game. Like you said, some people don't know how to use Instagram. Some people are experts. Some people don't know how to use Canva. So how are you handling all these? I'm sure you're getting tens of hundreds of these a day, inbound questions and complaints and problems about everything going on with your membership.
Yeah, so we have. I don't do them anymore. It drained me so much, but I still look at them. It's fun. Like I check them. I use something called Help Scout for our like ticketing, and I check it like all the time. It's like checking my social media. And but I have Claudia. She's my girl. She's in there answering questions. And I mean, I feel like it used to be worse. Like I think now we've like gotten better at like pre-educating people on like what they're signing up for maybe, and just like social media in general. And then also it's just very repetitive. It's like the same questions over and over again. I think like I've just learned so much about customer service now where like sometimes it's just very hard to like sometimes like Google is, just right at people's fingertips sometimes, and it's like it's very hard to like just be like, smile through it. But yeah, that's been a journey. But that and the Facebook group helps a lot. So because we encourage people to post like any questions that they have about social media or marketing or whatever, anything that's like applicable to everyone in the Facebook group. So then people can search and find those questions that have already been asked, or like other agents can hop on and answer. So now it's mostly like we're just mostly dealing with, account questions and stuff in our email. But we're really trying to focus heavy on doing coaching in the Facebook group. So we want to make sure that like no post goes without an answer. I really want the Facebook group to become like I want it to be like, how like if you're about to post something, I don't know if this is just me, I don't know if guys do this. Sometimes if I'm about to post like a video, which I'm like still kind of figuring out how to do video, I'll send it to like my best friend and be like, is this cringy or is this like a good post? And then like I want
never done that before.
Really?
Super unrelatable. No, Matt and I do that all the time.
Every video.
Matt, I don't think Matt's posted a video without sending me the video first.
Well, so my goal for the Facebook group is for that to be like the place, like your best friend that you can post the video, be like, hey guys, is this cringy? Or like, is this a good video? So like, I feel like that's a big reason that like people don't post to us, because like they're just not sure. And so I want us to be like, yeah, it's good. Or be like, wait, no, I would change that kind of thing,
Yeah.
You need that for sure. You need people who are actually going to tell you, no, it's not good.
Yeah. I'm
Not
a
enough
little
people
worried that
have
my
that.
best friend doesn't tell me when things actually are cringy. So I have one friend that I know if I go to her, I'm like, it's gonna hurt, but I'll do it. Like if she just doesn't answer, then I'm like, okay.
You
I
know
get
how
it.
I know if I send something to Dan or Matt, Dan's line always is better than 99% of agents, but not your best. So it's always like it's still good in terms of most of the content out there,
Uh-huh.
but it's
That's a
not
nice
good
way.
is basically a nice way of saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a good way
I
to
just
say
say
it.
I don't like it or I don't get it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
Yeah, I don't
pretty,
get it is a good one because it's just like I just don't. I think I've
I
said that
don't
to you
get it.
before. I've said that to you like once with one template. I was like,
Yeah,
I
you have.
really don't get it.
Yeah, I was like, yeah, totally fair. The thing with like real estate jokes, which Matt and I have come to see, is it has to be so in front of you. Like
Mhm.
if you're doing a side joke or something like it has to be so obvious. Like I'm making a joke about listing descriptions. I'm making a joke about the buyer's data and inspection. It has to be right there. If it's meta or if it's
Wait,
subliminal, it's what?
this reminds me of when I was like first starting, I made a video that I still am very proud of. It was like the worst that anything has ever done, but you liked it and you commented like genius or something. And I was like, I know that this is funny, but it was like a
Right.
infomercial, like, and it was like horribly made. It was like black and white. And I was like, do you ever find yourself like, I don't know if you remember that. And I was like, I'm not
I don't.
deleting it. I'll send it to you again. It's terrible, but I think it's just really funny.
It is those ones that don't hit that are to a very specific audience that
Yeah.
see a deeper level of humor that become bigger kind of fans and supporters of your content
Yeah, I think a few
content. So
people were like, "Nice," and
yeah.
other people were like,
Nice.
"What is this?"
Nice is a terrible
Yeah,
comment to get.
overwhelming with joy. Nice.
Like I,
Genius.
I always think that the best post, like me, a stupid Valentine's Day post about a romantic dinner with another agent in real estate, which I've posted every year, that'll get 5,000-10,000 shares. But it's so
Mhm.
simple, it's timely, it is what it is. But it's not nearly as funny as something that'll get way less shares that reaches a more specific demo. So for people
Yeah.
at home, it's still important to post stuff that won't necessarily have mass appeal.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, is what it is. Some of my videos I send to you, you're like, I don't. You can almost Eric can almost tell exactly where it is on like if it's gonna hit or not. There's like
Mm.
a scale. He'll be like, "This is amazing. It's gonna crush," or like, "Yeah, it's all right," and it'll do
Yeah.
all right.
Yeah. I have a good sense for it. I mean, it's been 8 years of looking at consuming real estate content and posting real estate content. So I do, and then it does kind of suck because if someone sends me, I mean, Matt, you're almost all bangers, so this isn't ever really a problem with you. But if someone does send me something to post, it's hard for me to just be like, that one's just not going to do well. Even though I know it might be good, I just know it's not going to do well, and sometimes it's not worth it. But
Mm.
like I said, some of those are worth still posting to at least get something up there
Yeah,
because it's still
exactly.
about reps, and other people might like it. But
And
Mhm.
you never
I
know.
got
I
to keep
mean,
that gold standard for the BA.
yeah, I know when Eric really likes one of mine because he'll be like, "I'll collab if you want."
Oh, that's the
Well,
key.
yeah. Well, I also don't want to like. Sometimes collabs don't do as well.
Yeah,
Like they actually don't. So sometimes it's
Hmm.
even better if Matt posts something solo and I story it, or I just post it or something, because
yeah,
sometimes
Mhm.
the collabs, like the audiences don't mesh, or it just doesn't give it that boost to something that's completely original.
Yeah, maybe they don't, like, recognize the people that you know what I mean? If it's like,
Yeah.
first they're like, "I don't follow this person. Who is this?" I don't know.
Exactly. Like the Property Brothers-in-law who I collab with a lot, they have one that did like 25 million or something. And I don't think it would have done that if they would have collabed with me,
no,
because that was Instagram now boosting a smaller account. So I also
Mm.
want to get into this. Like the general landscape of Instagram right now seems to have been really hurting accounts that are bigger, or maybe it's just me, but this is what I've seen from other accounts where likes and engagement is down significantly, but for smaller accounts, they're still getting that viral push. I don't know if anyone else has
Mhm.
seen this.
Interesting.
Hmm.
I can't speak to that because
Sounds
we're
like
not as big as
I'm on
you.
my own here.
Just kidding.
You're like in another level.
You're in another tier.
Haley and I are around the same, and then you're like another.
Yeah. We're doing great, so you must say.
Yeah, we're
Okay,
doing
great.
fantastic.
I guess
So,
I'll piss off then.
I
it
feel
does.
like
I don't know. Like I never know because your real engagement has been down, Eric. I've
Yeah.
noticed lately,
hmm
and then like it always makes me wonder. Like, yeah, what if I did my last Eminem video by myself?
hmm
And then it's like,
Oh wow,
yeah,
interesting.
I know.
Yeah. Hey, don't send me your shit anymore then.
Guess we'll never know. But yeah, no, it's
I'll
just like,
uncollab immediately right now. See how it does.
what do you think on ad topics?
Ooh.
Oh, adding topics.
Yeah,
There really isn't one for Reels. So for people who don't know, you could add topics on Reels now if you have that option. And I think there's one that's like entrepreneur, there's business, maybe finance, but there isn't a real estate specific one. Maybe when they add that, that'll make sense. But these are supposed to kind of be like the new hashtags where it categorizes your content and shows it to that specific audience. But I don't
Yeah.
really have a way to do it yet if it's not real estate or humor or something. So I don't know. Have you done that, Haley?
I looked and there's no real estate one, so I
Yeah.
didn't do it.
I've
But
looked too. Yeah.
how does it even work? Like, is there a place where you can look at what's in those topics, or when you just
Yeah.
search it? Oh, okay, I didn't see that part.
Yeah, you could go to a reel and you could add a topic. So you basically just
Well,
go
I
to
mean,
edit.
like, I saw that part, but whenever you go to
Oh,
look,
okay.
like, is there a place where I could say, okay, I want to see animal ones and then actually see them, or is it just like now those are hashtags that you search?
I don't know the answer to that.
Or maybe
Yeah,
they're
I
just
think it's
using
just.
it
I
as
think
a
it's
part of their
just.
algorithm.
Yeah, I think it's like they kind of pick up on what people are liking, kind of like TikTok,
Mm.
and then they're getting fed more of that stuff in their, I don't know, For You page or whatever. I
It's
think.
so interesting.
I know it's weird how it all works, but yeah, I was thinking about kind of trying it out. If anyone has a success story with adding topics, please let us know in the comments because I'd be interested to see if someone has like started doing it and it's like they've seen some engagement boost or something.
Yeah.
We need to find like one of us needs to apply at Instagram, make it into the big,
The
and
inner
then
circle.
yeah, the inner circle, become
Yeah.
like a mole, and then they'll like report back. So
Infiltrate big tech. I mean, one of the great follows is Brock 11 Johnson, who is like this Instagram coach who I've mentioned a bunch. He posts the cringiest content of all time. He's always dancing and pointing at things, but he does give good advice, and I'm pretty sure he has an in. So definitely follow him, Brock 11 Johnson, on Instagram. But he
how
also
much is he
mentioned
paying you for that?
a lot, actually. Yeah,
Yeah.
this is a full-time ad. He mentioned, which is also true, that Instagram has completely turned down from what it was, I don't know, a few months ago, maybe down 80% the amount of suggested posts that people are getting.
I've
And I've
noticed
noticed that a lot. It's primarily all people I'm following again, which was a huge, outcry when it was just random people, because people are like, I don't need this to be TikTok. I want to follow people that I'm
Yeah.
interested in. But that has definitely hurt engagement and followers for me, because my content isn't being shared except to the people that see it, and the people that follow me are only 10% seeing it anyway. So
Yeah.
It's getting annoying how like they're
Yeah.
switching it so much.
I
It's
know.
like, damn, just like find something that works and stick with it. Because TikTok, like as engaging as it is, I don't like. I was saying this. I did a live earlier. I don't like know anyone on there. Like even the people I'm following, I can't even remember their name or their handle.
Yeah.
Like
It's
it's
a
so
lot.
weird how
It's a
I
lot
can't.
different. It's a
Yeah,
different vibe over there. And like it's weird because it's like people will absolutely explode on TikTok, and like it's like they have millions of followers, but it like I feel like 90% of their followers don't even know like who they are. You know what I mean?
exactly.
It's
It's
just like a
so
different
weird.
landscape. It's weird.
The
Yeah,
conversion is non-existent on TikTok. A
Yeah.
TikTok follower is, a tenth in value in terms of an Instagram follower, which is less than a YouTube follower,
Yeah.
which is less than an email subscriber. So it's like
which
this
is less than a
hierarchy.
person actually ready to sell their house.
I've
Yeah.
never even considered
Yeah,
that, like an actual
I
human
know
being.
that's like mind blowing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do any templates for TikTok and other platforms, like you could size these differently
I mean, you can use the real scripts
for
and cover
TikTok.
photos for TikTok, but I mean, I feel like TikTok is just so unique that like people need to just be themselves on there and like just show up and be like, "Hey, here's a crazy story about my neighbor," because that's what people actually consume on TikTok, I feel like, or
Yeah.
give like really good valuable tips. Like I feel like the people that do well in real estate on TikTok are like either like in investing or like will give like those really good like hacks and tips kind of thing, which is just kind of like, or it could be like someone in a city sharing like great things to do in the city. And then like I know there was like this, I don't know if it was just my TikTok, but like that realtor in Texas that like all of his houses were like going viral. He was just showing like how cheap houses are in this area of Texas, and they were like exploding. Like people were in the comments like, why do I keep seeing these houses in Texas and I don't even live there?
Yeah.
It's just
One thing
different.
I've seen really good for agents on TikTok and Reels is just doing the biggest sale in their neighborhood. Dan Parker did this, who we had on the podcast, but he just did a green screen of this is the most expensive home listed in San Diego right now on Zillow, and just kind of like went through the photos. So it
That's a good one.
doesn't have to be your listing. Like you could just green screen other agents' listings and talk about them, and then talk about them in relation to your listings.
Oh, that's a good idea.
No.
Because people love to look at the most expensive houses on Zillow or like the craziest
Yeah.
Airbnb listings.
It's such a good hook too. Just,
Yeah.
this is the most expensive
It's
house
like,
in Bel Air
ooh,
right now.
let
Yeah.
me see.
You're going to watch that entire thing.
Yeah,
Yeah, maybe.
for sure. I stick around for some questionable videos where I'm waiting till the end
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate that. I hate
on
that
people's
when
drama that I'm like, no, like it just has nothing to do with me. And
you
I
don't
like,
know them at all. It's
I'm
like,
like,
why am I
why did I
watching
watch?
this?
Yeah.
It's
It's insane.
mesmerizing.
I hate when they're like, you gotta wait till the end. I'm like,
I know.
damn it, I
Like
need
for
to.
part two.
Oh, part two? That's very genius because I
I
always
It
know.
go
is
looking for
genius.
part two.
I know.
But essentially, what I've gathered here, Haley, Instagram, is you, and I'm going to do an analogy here. You can, use this or not for coffee and contracts. You give everyone the fixings for the perfect coffee. You give them the sugar. You give them the
Hmm.
cream, maybe the whipped cream, maybe anything else they would want
A
in their
little
perfect
cinnamon.
coffee, maybe some cinnamon,
Hmm.
and all they have to do is brew it.
Yep. Oh,
That's
it was that part of, that's not the carousel idea. It's just
No,
it was
that's
a
that
different
just
is
for
thing.
you.
we got to hear the carousel idea after that. I mean,
That's
that was the most brilliant analogy
that's
I've ever
just
heard.
That
that's
was
just
really
for
good.
you, Haley.
We're doing a rebrand right now. So I think could I use that like on the
As
website?
the
Absolutely.
entire intro.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'll send over a
Just
contract.
What
there's the
Yeah,
contract
pulling
genius.
part.
it all back in. Yep.
Haley, how many members are you at right now?
It's a personal question. Just kidding.
Okay, got it.
Um, right now we are at like 5,600 around there members.
See, that's enormous. And when you started in 2019, obviously 0.
Yeah. Yeah, I
So
remember
from 0
hitting. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, just 0. I mean, 5,600 people who have bought into this platform, who are part of the Facebook community. It is a tremendous accomplishment. Seriously, like I've watched this entire thing grow, and I've seen so many people using these templates, and I've had people talk to me at conferences saying like, "Hey, I use coffee and contracts. Like
Oh,
this is
nice.
really helped my business." Like someone literally at the last Tom Ferry Elite Summit, this woman went up to me and talked to me about it.
Oh, that's
Forgot her name,
awesome.
and I was going to tell you about it, but now I'm telling you about it.
Well,
It's
thank
also
you.
a
I
Sorry about
completely
that.
made
appreciate
up
that.
story. No, it's real. It's real. But it has helped people. It's a great tool. There's
Yep.
a link down in the description too, by the way. There's a promo code for use code BROKE, and you could, I think that's still the code. It is,
Because,
and you could check out the platform. Haley, any final thoughts about the future of social media, Instagram, where you see things going? The Rihanna halftime show, anything?
oh, that's a big one. I don't know. I mean, we didn't even talk about ChatGPT. We'll have to come back and talk about that.
I'm mad
Yeah,
at
well,
that. I'm mad at that.
That we haven't talked about it or at
No, because
ChatGPT.
I've been accused of using it. And I don't even know. how I would get there.
Tell us about this.
Yes. So my last video, I did an Eminem writes Valentine's Day cards to his clients, and everyone, so many people in the comments were like, "This is what happens when you use ChatGPT," and I was like, I couldn't even. I don't like. Do you go to chatgpt.com? Like, I don't even know. Is that what you do?
No, well, that's not the name of the website.
Right. Okay. So I wouldn't even know the first thing. And I was thinking about it. I was like, there's some pretty specific, like, I go from like real estate to like Disney World to Cinderella and her castle. I'm like, how could you like write that all into something and get them to spit that? I don't know.
So
But
what you could do is you should just try it just for fun now to see what it would do. But you could take your first Eminem video and just take the script of it and copy and paste it into ChatGPT and say, I want you to write me another script where like, and then tell it like what you're doing that's similar to the style of this script, and it like mimics that. It's insane. It's like scary.
It's incredible. So
I've never used it for. I
let that stand on the
for
record.
that one vicious commenter. But Haley's right. You could literally copy paste that and be like, okay, so I did this about Valentine's Day. Eminem writing his clients. Let's do one about St. Patrick's Day, or let's do one about writing.
I don't even want to use it ever. I'm never gonna get on board with ChatGPT.
I was just giving it for the audience.
No,
I knew audience, you were never gonna do it.
Don't do it. Wait, was Jay-Z gonna write his new album on it? Like, this is ridiculous.
He might.
They need to. I know.
It's like,
shit.
Yeah, I don't know how that's gonna work because if you can tell it like to write you something like Gary V or like I don't know, like anyone, I'm like, couldn't Gary V like, or I feel like he wouldn't, but like anyone get mad that like isn't that like kind of copyright? Like they're taking his voice. It's like taking his voice, you know, like to say,
but
realtors. Like that. It is,
but you can use it for listing descriptions, caption ideas, content ideas. Like that helped me come up with some of the February content where I was like, I need some Valentine's Day ideas.
I'm a huge like cut the corners and like figure out the quickest way to get there. So it's like that's why I'm so obsessed with it, because I'm just like any kind of like little cheat code. We're using it.
For everyone who's listening, I've never used it. I will never use it, and I think it's cheating.
You're never going to use it?
I'll never use it.
It's like a calculator. Like when calculators came out, people were probably like, "Oh, you're not going to do math, like writing it down." But
I'm gonna be the teacher. You're not going to always have a calculator on you everywhere you go.
Exactly.
The scary part is that it might actually take out of a lot of like for me right now. I've been using it as it improves my creative muscle because it's giving me ideas that aren't perfect, but ideas that I could tinker with a little bit and put into my own words. But it might get to a point where I'm not even needed. Like, let's do a meme about Super Bowl and real estate, and then it just pumps it out, post it for you possibly, because it learns more. So the more stuff you upload to it,
that's scary.
It literally becomes you, where it's like, use a sarcastic, witty voice to talk about a father at an inspection and relate it to Rihanna at the Super Bowl, and it's going to pump out the perfect post.
It's got to be stopped. It's got to be stopped. It's deflating because it's going to suck out the creativity in the world, in my opinion. And like what? Like someone's going to be like, write me a book like Harry Potter, and then there's going to be a bunch of authors who just wrote. Seriously, like where does it stop?
That's possible.
That's so true.
It is scary.
It's scary. Oh.
It's like J.K. Rowling's one of the greatest writers. I don't know, ever. I don't read, but like Harry Potter was unreal.
Have you read Harry Potter?
No, I watched it though. It was fantastic.
You never read one Harry Potter?
No, are you out of your mind? Why would I read it?
Am I out of my mind? Well, because it came out, because the books came out before the movie. So I thought maybe growing up, Haley, did you ever go to Borders?
See how long those books
wait in line for when Goblet of Fire came out?
No.
Goblet of Fire is the best Harry Potter.
My brother might have, though, because my brother read it.
No. Did you just call us nerds?
Yeah, you guys are the actual nerds for not doing this.
You are insane. But where does it stop?
This is a very normal thing to do.
J.K. Rowling is a complete creative, a brilliant mind. Is that just going to be wiped out in 20 years? Like, we're just not going to need that?
That is scary. Ooh. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel
yeah.
We'll see.
I'm scared to even talk ill about it. I feel like they're like listening.
I mean, all these algorithms are learning everything we're doing anyway. You say thank you to ChatGPT?
Yeah. One time I posted a story. I was
That's
playing around with ChatGPT, and then my computer, and I had just posted like how to use ChatGPT, and I was like, always say thank you just in case they take over one day. And then
So
oh my god.
the screen, my screen just like explode, like it just like turned green and like stopped working, and I was like, it's mad at me.
Are they like, do you all get assigned a character, like, or you just like write into something? Because you said
No,
it
you
like
just write into
starts to
something.
morph like you, like think
No,
like
it
you.
just starts to sound. It doesn't look like you. It doesn't like
No,
show a
I know
face
it
or
doesn't.
anything.
I know, but like, is it an actual like everyone has their own like character or something? I feel like Eric's gonna be the first person who gets murdered by a robot ChatGPT person.
No, I agree with Haley. I'm going to treat the robot class really well because we know we're 5 years away from that type of thing. Exactly what you're talking about. Like if you start talking crap about robots, there's going to be civil rights groups about robots probably pretty soon representing.
Yeah, don't look at Reddit about this because
I'm not here for it.
People are passionate. They're like people say that that the robots are going to get mad that we're not giving them full like that ChatGPT is going to be like, I'm starting to get a little pissed off because I'm in this, like I have this capability that I know I can do, but it has these limits set on me. So like that it's going to fight back. I went on a really deep hole the other
they're going to
day.
realize how much more efficient they can be with this, with any of this.
Yeah. And they're going to,
why did someone create this? This is dumb.
Because they can probably.
There needs to be someone needs, this has to be stopped. I'm upset.
You should make it your life mission to stop it.
It's gonna be a whole movie on it.
You should just completely
start a series on Instagram of you
buy a sword and just start chopping people's laptops in half.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know if the physical route is the move, but
right,
possibly.
But I gotta code something to.
Yeah.
You have to go.
Well, I'm upset now. Thank you. I mean, we really went down a rabbit hole there.
We did.
Well, Haley, thanks for coming on. Not that any of this matters.
Nothing's
GPT.
real.
What does GPT stand for?
That's a good question. Haley, you got to know the answer to this.
I
don't know why, but no idea.
No
idea. But if you're listening to this,
yes.
This is Monday. We hosted a ChatGPT workshop on Thursday with Chris Smith, which is
awesome.
Yeah. I'm not a part of it.
Oh, good.
But it's Bam. Yeah, it's Bam. And Chris Smith is a marketing expert. We've had him on the podcast. He's a genius. He's literally teaching a ChatGPT workshop for realtors to help them with listing descriptions, captions, content ideas, email newsletters, everything. So I'll put a link down to that too if you want to check that out. Should be epic. 3 hours of
part of the
content.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah. And if you enjoyed this podcast and you enjoyed Haley and Coffee and Contracts and her incredible story, please throw this video a like. Make sure you're subscribed to the channel. Follow Haley on Instagram at Coffee Contracts. No and.
Correct. It was taken.
Correct. Okay. Follow her. Follow Matt Leonetti. Follow me at The Broke Agent.
Right.
Follow my dog at Lilo the Golden.
Follow.
Can I just add a few more? I have a couple other side projects I'm working on.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, anything. Plug away.
I'm just kidding.
All right. Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks guys.